everyone, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Duel Links video. I will indeed be a bit more chill, but I'm still going to be a bit nuts, just not super over the top. And for the sake of my voice, and I probably shouldn't be. But again, I'm really not just treating my sister like this because I want to. In fact, I don't even want her to know any of this, because how I'm choosing to cope with her behavior is not her business. How I'm choosing to cope with my behavior, with her behavior, is not for her knowledge. It's not for her knowledge because it's not appropriate for her, quite frankly. And that is good information to know, but there are no limits when it comes to how she treats me, apparently, which is bad. Very bad. And now, I don't know what exactly could happen to me if I keep having to hold things in, but I do know that stress-related nausea is a thing, and so is stress-related vomiting. I've also had this confirmed by other people that have dealt with much worse situations growing up, as opposed to just now in adulthood. And if you have to deal with this shit growing up, that's even worse. Dear Lord. But my sister is still a minor, and I do have some limits in regards to that, but knowing that there really aren't many limits that can be set in regards to me, that hurts. That hurts like hell, because she can do whatever she wants to me, and I'm supposed to just take that. I'm supposed to just deal with it because I'm an adult and she's not. Like, dude, that is so backwards. But fine, I see how this is. I've always felt like an outcast whose needs are secondary. Well, I do know that I feel like this, but that's why I had to start prioritizing myself now. In other words, it's not about what people say to me on the internet. It's about what's good for me. It's about what's healthy for me. And being stepped on as a doormat is not healthy for anyone. So, eventually I will have to stand up for myself appropriately and respectfully. In a respectful tone, with respect directed at her. Obviously, I will look her in the eyes. I can't really meet her at her level because she's taller than me, so I know that it's a tactic that when kids are misbehaving, you can kneel down to be at their level and look at them in the eyes and be respectful and keep your tone low. But I can't really do that with her because she's slightly taller than me. So all I can do is just look her in the eyes and just be as respectful as possible. But she isn't going to hear me out. She isn't going to listen to me. She's going to just ignore me. She's going to be abusive to me as soon as I stand up for myself, and I will have to take it as respectfully as possible, which to me is, why should I have to deal with that? I shouldn't, but I will have to. And why will I have to? Because I'm expected to behave in a certain way as an adult. And I agree that I need to actually behave in a certain way as an adult. And I agree that I should not be inappropriate toward her because she is indeed a minor, and as a result, I don't want her to know how I'm coping with her behavior, because I don't think that that's appropriate, because again, that's not good for her. And it's not part of her well-being, to be honest, for her to know. If she did know, that would be quite toxic to me. It wouldn't reflect well on me as an adult, so I don't want her to know. But it is depressing knowing that I had to behave the way I did in previous videos. I mean, in earlier videos, just because of what she's done. Simply because of the behavior she's displayed. I know that she's not a good person right now, but I know that she could be. And I do have respect for her to the extent that I know she's a minor, I know she's a human, I know she's traumatized, I know that it's not right to make that worse. But again, I don't know if there is a part of me that is just thinking things are going to, I can't be the responsible one forever. As in, I can't be held accountable if I break as someone that has mental health issues of my own. I've got major depression. I've got anxiety. I've got some trauma. I mean, I may not have a trauma disorder like she does, but at this point, do we really need to compare? Seriously? I mean, my body vomited. That's not normal for me. I mean, seriously, I'm being stressed to my limit. That's not good. Even if I'm not traumatized, it's in no way a good sign when my body decides it's time to vomit. So for this reason, I have decided it is time for me to take it to the next level. If I know she's not around and the sun is out, I will do what I can, but I will also I have to let it out. And if it isn't let out, if it's still there somehow, then maybe I'm not letting it out often enough. But if she may be here too much for me to let it out often enough, to be honest. My sister is usually here at home. And as a result of this, I don't often get to act the way I need to in order to become more stabilized, more normal. I don't have that environment. And because I don't, the consequences of not having it, they may become known in the future. Like, I might be able to contain myself, but that is up to an extent. My parents do not know that extent because I have not yet reached it. I am vomiting at times, but it's not to the point where I had to be sent to the ER. It's not to the point where I need to see a professional right this second. I am still sort of stable, but I do not know when or how. Guys, I don't know when this will change. I have never lost it. I have never gone red for any reason. I have been at the point of rage, but I have not been at the point where I'm unable to control my temper around someone else. Trust me, guys. I don't like how this is going between my sister and our mother and and the family situation because I don't know my limits. I'm serious, guys. I don't know them. So I don't know what would drive me over the edge. I don't know what would make me lose my temper. I don't know what would make me just snap even a little bit. I don't know what would cause me to crack or break because I've never been there. So I can't take steps to avoid it. And that is honestly terrifying. That is some of the most terrifying shit I've ever heard. But it is what it is. And if something happens to me, then at the very least I know that I will not be the one that was treated. At the very least I will know that I was treated much worse. Because I cannot possibly do anything that's worse than her. And even if I crack or break, that's still not going to be anything like her response. Her response is going to be to flip her shit. But that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Alright. I am doing this with the understanding of what could happen by doing it. I know what these players are capable of. This is someone playing Odeon, so I'm expecting Karma Cut or some shit. Okay, I was not expecting that. But, yeah, I don't know my limits, which is terrifying because I don't know them. But I do know something, and that is very simple. This something is, I may not know my limits, but I know that I've got them, which means that if I'm vomiting, I can at least take into account I'm vomiting. So I'm there. Since I'm at the point of vomiting, there is a risk. So I can at least try to take steps to address that. And now the problem here is, yes, I can take the steps to address this, but I might still not be successful. And that's fine. That's fine. I don't have to be successful the first time around. Just as long as I don't cause her any harm. If I don't cause her any harm, then I will be fine. I just don't want to hurt her. I don't want to be as bad as she is. I don't want to cause as much heartache for our mother as she's causing. Again, my sister is causing our mother heartache and I don't want to be part of it. But I can only handle so much. So I may not want to be part of it, but I will have to apologize if I do end up being part of it. Because I don't know my limits, and I can rightfully say that. I can say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that. I didn't mean to. I didn't know I was going to do that. But even if I don't know that, I will apologize afterward. My mother has gotten no apologies from my sister. My sister has not apologized for her behavior. Again, my mother has gotten no apologies from her. Meanwhile, I would apologize because, rightfully so, if I accidentally crack or snap, I could do something that I shouldn't do. And if I am in the wrong, then I need to apologize and make my amends. I need to understand that if I mess up, that's not acceptable. But my sister needs to be held accountable for her behavior, her actions. the actions that she's not being held accountable to right now, at this very moment. Because she's getting away with it. Because of the way that she is. Because no one has what it takes to stand up to her. And I do think that to an extent she's protected because of that. Because my sister is protected. She is protected because she's a minor. This protection allows her to do things that she would normally not get away with as an adult. And I am not okay with this. I am not okay with this at all. But she may not know this. She may not know this, but there's a reason she doesn't know. I know that it's not acceptable for a minor to be treated in certain ways. And I'm holding myself accountable to not treating minors in a way that I think is not acceptable. I am actually holding myself accountable to making sure that I don't cross that line. And now, will I cross it? That is still a possibility because I do not know my limitations when it comes to this kind of thing. This is something that I am not used to. So anything could happen to me. I could do anything because I'm simply not able to stop it. But if I know, then at that point I can take steps to prevent it from happening again. I can stop it from occurring again. I cannot stop something from occurring if I do not know it can happen. But again, I can take steps now to avoid a future disaster that could occur based on the information I currently possess. Unfortunately, that information may not be enough. That's right, it may not be enough. And if it isn't, then she might overreact. She might think that I'm a danger. She might start to treat me the way that she treats my dad. I don't know what would happen, but it would definitely not be because I want her to be treated like that. I don't want her to be treated like she's treated me. I don't want to be the cause of pain and sorrow for her. But she is so willing to hurt me. She is so willing to cause me heartache and pain and suffering. And because she's willing to do that to me, she's also willing to do that to others, which isn't acceptable. Again, it's not right. I don't know how to handle this. I don't think anyone can actually say what the right thing to do is. I think a lot of people are probably stuck because there isn't a set way for how to deal with this. My situation is so unique that I might be the odd one out. Like, my dad is in a bit of a situation, but he can get away from my sister. He can drive a car, he can drive a motorcycle. My mom has a job, she's holding the house up with it. And my brother just straight up moved out. Which now I know is most likely completely her fault as a result of the past week. He was here for the past week, so I can pretty much assume she's the reason for that. She's the reason he moved out. That was not me. The past with my brother isn't the reason he moved out. Which is, let me say, rather hilarious considering in the past my relationship with my brother was rather strained. It was strained! But now my relationship with my sister is the strained relationship. I just think it's funny because it's legitimately weird It's out there that I'm not the reason my brother moved out. It was someone else. And now I know that it was most likely my sister who was actually the entire reason for it. Just based on this past week alone. Though I did have some issues with my brother over the week, which I hated because they were not his fault, but they were sensory related. I had a migraine and he was talking normally, you know, like a normal person. And I was unable to handle it. I was very uncomfortable by that sensory stuff and that sensory information. And because of that, I was just like, oh shit. What would happen if my sister flipped her shit? Yeah, I couldn't handle someone talking normally. At a normal volume. So my sister, flipping her shit. That's right. That screaming. All of it. I don't know what that would do to me. But I do know it would do something. And I know that it would be painful and excruciating. It may not be physically excruciating, but oh god, it would be excruciatingly painful. And I know I can control myself. And that may be my undoing. My problem entirely may be that I can control myself. And I have a pride regarding this. This same pride is probably why I'm going to get my ass kicked. Because it's not society I'm blaming for this. It's not the system that's at fault for this. Because this pride is something that I associate with my own natural will. Yeah, that's right, my own natural will. Part of this is myself, my natural personality. I don't like losing control over my emotional state, which is kicking me in the ass. I know. Anyway, this Zane is teaching me some new tricks. This Zane is teaching me some new tricks. If I need help, I can look back at this video and find it. I can just find this duel. Though I don't really need help, to be honest. Alright, he won. Well, we'll see if that happens again, Zane. Because you went second. I wanted to go second countless times when I was Zane. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this video. A bit anticlimactic. I wanted to rank up, but okay, I can't. Anyway, in the next video, let's hope I do rank up. I will continue this conversation and probably delve into some more bullshit that has nothing to do with my sister.